Welcome to the Explainer. Usually we tackle a big article or a whole bunch of data. But today, we're zeroing in on just one sentence. But it's a really powerful one. One that lays out the blueprint for what a perfect cure should be.
All right, let's just read it out. Yeah, I know. It's a mouthful, right? It's pretty dense, but trust me, every single word in there sets an incredibly high standard for what healing should look like. So, what we're going to do is break it down piece by piece so we can really see what it's all about.
Okay, first things first. Let's talk about the end goal. What's the destination here? What's the whole point of this ideal cure? Because it's definitely not just about, feeling a little less sick.
Listen to the words they use here. It's not about managing the disease or suppressing symptoms, which, let's be honest, is how we think about a lot of conditions these days. No. It says removal and annihilation in its whole extent. Wow. That is a seriously high bar. It means completely, totally wiping out the illness, not a trace left behind. And check this out. It's the other side of the coin. It's not just about getting rid of the bad stuff. The real goal is to bring back the good stuff. We're talking about a full, permanent restoration of health. It's about getting the entire system, the whole person, back to a state of balance.
Okay, so the goal is clear. Total restoration. But how do you get there? What should that journey actually feel like? Well, this principle gives us three key words, three adjectives that describe the ideal process. Let's dive into those.
First up, rapid. This just makes sense, right? If you're suffering, you want relief, and you want it fast. The perfect cure shouldn't drag on forever. It should work quickly.
Next, it has to be gentle. This is a big one. The healing process itself shouldn't feel like a battle. It shouldn't be brutal or harsh. You shouldn't have to suffer more just to get better. The idea here is that the cure works with your body, not against it.
And finally, permanent. This is huge. We're not talking about a temporary fix, a Band-Aid that you have to keep reapplying. The ideal cure solves the problem for good. Once it's done, it's done.
So there you go. Those are the three pillars of what this thing should feel like: rapid, gentle, and permanent. That's a pretty powerful trio, isn't it? It describes a process that's not just effective, but also, humane.
All right, so we've got the destination, total restoration. And we know the qualities of the ride. It should be rapid, gentle, and permanent. But what about the map? How do we actually get there? The principle also outlines the ideal method, the best path to take.
And here it is, a three-part path. First, it's got to be the shortest way. No scenic routes, just the most direct, efficient path to health. Second, it has to be the most reliable way. It should just work consistently, every time. And this last one is so important. It has to be the most harmless way. Just think about that for a second. We're so used to hearing a long list of side effects, right? We see it as a trade-off. But this ideal says, nope, no collateral damage at all.
Okay, there's one last piece to this puzzle, and it might be the most important one. It's the foundation for this whole idea. It's what makes the method something you can actually trust and, repeat.
And this is what I find so interesting. The whole thing has to be based on easily comprehensible principles. That means it can't be magic, it's not a mystery, or just a lucky shot in the dark. It has to be based on principles that are clear, logical, stuff you can understand. It has to make sense. And because of that, you can study it, you can teach it, and you can apply it over and over again. It's not about chance, it's about science.
All right, so we've broken it all down. We've got the goal, the qualities, the method, and the foundation. Let's put all those pieces back together now and look at the whole sentence one more time with this new understanding.
So when we read it again, every part just hits differently, doesn't it? It's not just a sentence, it's a complete blueprint. You have the goal, annihilation of the disease. You have the qualities, rapid, gentle, permanent. You have the method, shortest, most reliable, most harmless. And you have the foundation, comprehensible principles. It's this total, no compromises vision of what perfect healing is supposed to be.
This idea it's a real challenge, isn't it? It sets the bar incredibly high for what healing can be. So I guess the question it leaves me with, and maybe you too, is in our world with all its medical compromises and trade-offs, how does this ideal stack up against what we actually experience? And maybe more importantly, what can a standard like this teach us about what we should be aiming for?